I recently spent a week on an off-the-grid, self-sustaining research island called Hurricane Island. Come with me and I'll show you what our day-to-day life was like outside of our research work hours. To get there, you start with a ride to Vinyl Haven Island from the mainland on a large car-carrying ferry. Then you have to catch a ride on a much smaller boat to Hurricane Island itself. Carrying you further and further away from civilization until you finally arrived. The island was foggy about 50% of the time, and I absolutely loved it. The fog cast an eerie feel over everything. From the sunsets to walking my lunch off on short hikes out to the little ice pond, where you're always serenaded by tons of frogs. Sleeping and living quarters consist of a bunkhouse and a few cabins scattered around the island. We started off in one of the cabins at the tippy top of the island, where I discovered that my sleeping bag and the sleeping bag sheet worked quite well, keeping me plenty warm enough in the cool 60-degree pre-dawn hours of the summer. But we eventually moved down into the bunkhouse to be closer to our classroom and the shower house. They have indoor showers, but my favorite time of day was showering around sunset hours in the outdoor showers. It was exhilarating, with amazing views to say the least. I know, you're probably thinking people can see you, but I assure you there's plenty of privacy. I thoroughly investigated, and no one can see anything from any angle. It was awesome. All of the island's fresh water comes from this quarry, and water will run out if too many people are using too much, so water conservation is of utmost importance. Even little things like turning off the shower while you're soaping up and shampooing make a huge difference. Even going to the bathroom is put to good use here. They use dry composting toilets, which pretty much look like everyday normal toilets, except they open to the air and no flushing is involved. The compost is collected, processed, and then used here, in the lovely garden, where they grow most of the veggies that we ate during our week on the island. And speaking of eating, chow bell means it's time to feast. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner are all served al fresco. The homegrown veggies are fantastic and are served in heaps with all the meals. But the stars of the show are the scallops that come from the island's very own scallop farm, the best I ever had. We often ended our days with sunset hikes. Glorious on clear evenings and even in the foggy ones. And we even got to have a campfire and s'mores one night. Our last day started with a magnificent cotton candy sunrise to see us off. And before we knew it, it was time to go. Finally leaving the way we came, first by small boat, then on to the huge ferry. And slowly back to civilization. where we were welcomed home by a pod of dolphins and quintessential Maine scenery of sailboats and lighthouses.